The voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
WHPC HD, Garden City.
The Nassau Mix.
The 90s, 2K, and today. The Nassau Mix.
The 90s.
All the small things.
2K.
2K.
And today.
The Nassau Mix.
Listen weekdays.
The voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to another edition of From the Pressbox right here on 90.3 WHPC. Here every Monday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Talking sports with my brother Tim. Award-winning sports writer Tim Leonard, by the way.
How you doing?
By the way, Tim, I don't know if you know this. It's really icky outside. You know, you're just sweating outside. Even though the temperatures are actually pretty low.
Yeah, it's cold summer.
No, but it's like, this is the type, and I was just telling Big Ed this. This is the type of weather where if you're outside landscaping, you're losing about 20 pounds out there. You know, and then you have to drink a lot of water. You have to stop by. You go to someone's house and you drink out of the hose for 2 minutes. Straight. You know, which is a lot of water if you think about it. So, just, I know you never really did landscaping.
I've seen dogs do that.
Yeah, dogs do that too. Yeah. Well, they get hot too. By the way, 122 degrees today in Palm Springs.
Okay. So, in other words, the regular.
No, it never went to 100. It was the most I ever had in Palm Springs. For those who don't know, our dad used to live there, and we used to go visit him, was 110.
Yeah, I stayed out of Palm Springs in July and August.
Well, I went down on Father's Day in 2006.
Although I did have to go there one time in August,
Yeah,
which was not a pleasant experience.
Probably had to see the alarm or something.
Walked around a little bit in Palm Springs, and oof, yeah, and that's why there was when I was walking around, I noticed that there was nobody out.
No, of course
Everybody, the only people who were out were in their cars. Nobody was actually walking.
No.
And it took me about 30 seconds to figure out why.
Well, you know what happens there? It's you know, in 2006 I went to go see Ringo with Dad, you know, which was fun. We had great seats, middle of the place, 12th row, and it was so hot. Tim, I'll do this.
The paper. What did I tell you about the paper?
Okay, so I block. I'm being normal.
Did I tell him, Big Ed? Big Ed, did I tell him?
I heard you say it.
Thank you, Big Ed. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Tim.
Pre-show
I'm
details.
I'm sorry. I put the paper because I talk with my hands. You know what's wrong with me? You know, so I blocked the thing. Here I'm blocking it again. Anyway, when we went to go see Ringo, Dad and I are driving in the car. The AC is all the way up, and that day was 110 on the 10, and we're just driving. And we were just
the 10
sweating.
is a road, by the way, people.
We were sweating in the car. And it was so hot. At one point, I just wanted to get like the heat out, and I wanted to open the windows, and my dad screamed at me.
Yeah, of course.
My dad screamed at me because no, AC must go on all the time.
Yeah.
You know, even at the beginning when there was hot air in the car, you know, you're supposed to open the windows, let the hot air out. No, my dad wouldn't do that.
Dad was under the impression that air conditioning became polar immediately.
Yeah, which it doesn't.
Let's face it, that's not a fact.
Yeah, fortunately they don't play baseball in Palm Springs, or maybe there's
some minor league teams.
There was
out there.
Palm Springs Power there at one point. I don't know if they're still there.
That sounds like an independent league kind of a team.
It was.
I know there was a Rancho Cucamonga team, but that's not really that close. That's about 100 miles away from Palm Springs.
That's all.
I don't know that there were any minor league teams in the desert. I don't remember any.
Well,
Lake Elsinore, but that's again like about 70 miles away.
Far away.
There weren't any. I mean, that would be pretty stupid actually to play in the desert.
Right. Anyway, let's talk baseball.
Talk Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball. The Yankees have a losing streak, brother. What is wrong with them? What happened?
It's
6 in a row. They've lost 6 in a row now.
It's this time last week we were talking about the Yankees and the winning streak, and they were just absolutely bludgeoning other teams. They were scoring 10 runs a game like it was nothing. The pitching was dominating, and in the last week they've been out west. And I mean, let's face it, the Oakland Athletics are not a very good team.
No,
but the Yankees for the first time all season, it seems like they've found a way to lose, as opposed to for pretty much the entire season, they have been a team that has played all 27 outs. They've figured out a way to win games and to get things done. And it was always like you were expecting them at the end of the game or 7th, 8th, 9th innings to say, all right, we're going to figure out how to win this game and how to get some runs. And a lot of times it was Aaron Judge doing something that helped produce a win, but they figured it out. And for the last week, that hasn't been there. And even you look at yesterday, Luis Cessa was forced to start. That was CC Sabathia's turn in the rotation, and Sabathia's hurt. He's got a pulled hamstring, so he's going to be out for a little bit. So Cessa was an emergency starter and pitched well for the first 3 innings, but then got in trouble and gave up 4 runs in the 4th. And now it's 4-2, and Didi Gregorius hit a home run, so it was 4-3. But that was the final score. So that was a game that a month ago, I think the Yankees win. And you look at what's happened in the last week, and the pitching has not been there. The ERA over those last 6 games has been about 5.5. Whereas during the 6-game winning streak that preceded it, the ERA was 1.5. So yeah, you're going to win a lot of games when you're giving up 1.5 earned runs per game.
Sure.
And the offense, they've been averaging a little over 4 runs a game, which isn't bad, and probably shouldn't give you a losing streak. But it seems like they're just it's one. They've lost a lot of 1- and 2-run games, and it's just it hasn't been a disaster. Like,
well, you know something. Sometimes you need a losing streak. You just need to have one to get it out of the way.
I don't buy that crap.
Maybe not
at all.
6 games, but something along those lines, because it just happens.
Well, but I mean,
Lose
like
a little
I said,
focus.
I've watched the games. The Yankees aren't playing badly, but and it's not disturbing in the sense that they've totally lost the plot and Girardi needs to make changes. It's just that they're one hit, and they're not getting that one hit, or the pitchers are giving up one more hit that's allowing whether it was the Angels or the Athletics to score another run, attack on another run or two. And that's been the difference in the games. So it's not like the Yankees are playing awful right now, but they're losing games. So, obviously they're going to be happy to get home because they've played so much better at home this season than on the road. That should kind of cure what ails them, so to speak. But, it was a little bit of a wake-up call for the Yankees. And my moke friend Croce in Boston is giving me grief this morning about he's saying first place Red Sox, because I said on the show 2 weeks ago that the Red Sox will not pass the Yankees this season, and they still have not passed them.
Technically, they're a half game behind because they played one more game.
Well, no, technically they're tied right now, but the Yankees are 2 percentage points ahead of the Red Sox. Now, that being said, remember what I said: the Red Sox will not pass the Yankees. Being tied is not passing anybody, so technically I'm still correct.
Well, it says here, was Boston a late night game last night?
Yeah, they played.
Oh, okay.
They played.
That's why it's not on the daily news thing.
Yeah, and they beat the Astros last night.
Okay, well that's good. I know you have that hatred for Boston, which is always good as a Yankee fan. So and
Kind of in the DNA, so to speak.
it's not in my DNA.
It's in my DNA.
It's not in Suzanne's DNA.
Should be. I don't think she likes Boston.
I don't know. Anyway, what about Aroldis Chapman?
Well, he's healthy again. So that, again, that's another thing that should help the Yankees. He pitched a 1-2-3 inning yesterday. Wasn't overpowering. Struck out one guy, but it was good to just see him back on the mound, get him an inning. I thought it was a great move by Girardi. And I was a little bit surprised that they brought him on the trip because you kind of figured, all right, he's going to maybe see one game. But it turned out to be a good thing just to get him back on the mound. And let's see what he has. It's not a save situation, but let's just get him an inning, get him back on a major league mound, let him air it out a little bit and see what he's got. I mean, he threw one pitch 101, so seems like he's ready to go.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend Gary yesterday. He's saying that the Yankees are going to re-sign CeCe next year. And I was
I disagree.
He says it will be for a low amount, though.
Oh, very low. I mean, let's put it this way: if the Yankees could
Because
sign,
CC wants to stay.
well, but if the Yankees could re-sign CC for, let's say, $5 million,
That's exactly what I said.
all right, maybe even $7 million, because
I
you look
wouldn't
at what
even say-
Bartolo Colon got from
Yeah.
the Braves, and he's been a disaster this year. I don't know if you've seen the numbers.
I have not.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, his ERA is something like 7.8 or something. He's been really bad, and he's on the DL right now. But if the
I'd still rather have him on the Mets right now.
let's put it this way: I know that no professional athlete owes anything, and I'm putting the owes the air quotes around owes,
Right.
the air quotes on Facebook Live, air quotes owes a professional team anything. But CC, as far as I'm concerned, he should give the Yankees a year for $5 million. Because put it this way: what contending team is going to sign CC?
None.
I don't know that any of them will. And I think CC, if he really does want to stay, he'd be a nice placeholder for some of the kids that they have in the minors who still need to develop. You know, the Justice Sheffield, the Caprillion kid who just had the Tommy John surgery, and his whole progress has been pushed back an entire year because he's not even going to pitch again
Right.
until next, May or June or whatever. Who else am I thinking of? Chance Adams, who might be up this season. I mean, this is a kid, for any Yankee fans who don't know the name Chance Adams, first of all, wake up. Second of all, this is a kid in the minor leagues he's been lights out for a couple of years now. Never mind just recently. He basically just buzzsawed his way through to Double-A, and now he's up at Triple-A, doing very well still. He is a kid who I could see, if the Yankees decide to bring somebody up or if they decide to shake things up a little bit with the rotation, we could certainly see Chance Adams this season. Another name that the Yankees said they weren't going to bring up, but they could, is Gleyber Torres, who was a guy that we've spoken about on the show quite a bit. Apparently he is now taking ground balls at third base. So the Chase Headley is first month. Chase Headley did perfectly fine, and since April ended, Chase Headley has not been good. So there is some thinking that Gleyber Torres could come up and wind up sitting in for Chase Headley. But this again, it shows that the Yankees are still very much a developing team, and
Even though they're in first place.
Even though they're in first place, and right now still, I mean, even after a 6-game losing streak, still look like a playoff team as far as I'm concerned. The pitching is going to tell a lot about what happens. And you look at Masahiro Tanaka, who still is struggling and has an opt-out clause after this season. I mean, it's almost to me like the Yankees would hope he takes it. But he's been, I mean, Tanaka at this point leads the league in home runs allowed.
Right.
He's just serving up home runs left and right because his
Well,
splitter
I
isn't
got
splitting.
something about Aaron Judge here.
Go ahead, give me some on Aaron
Okay,
Judge.
AL leaders.
Yeah, there you go.
Top of the batting, 335.
Who's that?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Has the most homers at 23.
Aaron Judge.
Run batted in, 53. Tied with Cruz of Seattle.
That would be Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz. And unfortunately, he's not on the pitching.
All rise.
I'm surprised. He's not on the pitching.
Well, he doesn't pitch.
I know, but he's playing so well.
That's how good he's been, though. You expect him to be there among the ERA leaders.
Yeah. But Sabathia is 7-2, man. Look at that.
CC, I tell you what, I have no complaints with CC this season, and that's why when CC says he wants to come back after what he's given the Yankees this season, I wouldn't object to it. But again, it would have to be for the right money. If CC wants $15 million, then I got to say, CC, take care. It's been nice.
I agree.
But
that's what I told my friend Gary.
Yeah,
I said for $5 million, the Yankees will do it, not for anything more.
5 to 7, yes. But anything more than that, then I have to say no. And I have to say, again, it's been fun. And CC's a California guy. He'd probably could look to pitch for the Angels or the Athletics or somebody like that. But he's not going to win with those teams.
No.
With the Yankees, you have a
But
good
you get
young
your money.
nucleus.
You get your money. It's like Pedro.
Pedro
Martinez,
But you know what? CC
got his money.
CC made $150 million on his contract.
I know.
He doesn't need more money.
I know that.
So if you're going to sit there between...
Pedro could have been on the 2007 Red Sox.
But if you're going to sit there between saying, all right, CC, here's 5 to 7 million. Let's say 7 million from the Yankees, or let's say 10 million from the A's. Is your quality of life experience going to be better for that extra $3 million in Oakland or in Anaheim when your team might be playing 500 ball.
I agree.
Forget it. Come on.
Anyway, by the way, in the NL leaders, there's only one Met in anything.
I'm surprised there's even one.
Jay Bruce has 18 homers.
Oh, that's right. Jay Bruce hitting the ball nice this year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the Mets outfield has worked out